Good afternoon, or good morning, rather. I'm Judge Carter. If you were here to provide testimony this morning, could you please stand up and raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you so much. You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Arroyo, State Certified Interpreter, already previously sworn.
Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and call the first case.
Looks like Officer Dixon B. Williams just came up with the move up, so they're here now.
All right. Well, we're going to finish the Spanish since I already have her on the line, and then we'll go forward with the move on. That's okay. I just already have the interpreter on. And it looks like we only have a couple. Stephanie. Do we have headset for Mr. Mendoza?
Right here.
Oh, actually, Madam Interpreter, I believe that both the defendant and the victim need an interpreter for this matter, so we'll be over the loudspeaker in courtroom 1 at the BRC.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is case number 20MN605. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
Señora, por favor, indique su nombre.
Monica.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I need her to get closer to a
Ma'am,
microphone.
can you
Señora,
go to the microphone,
acérquese, acérquese al micrófono.
Monica.
Mónica.
Is your last name Mendoza? Mendoza.
Y el apellido es Mendoza. Mendoza.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Muy bien, señora. A usted le arrestaron por agresión física, un acto de violencia doméstica. Existen indicios de criminalidad para sustentar esa acusación y se le designa defensor público para representarle.
And Madam Interpreter, this is directed to the victim. Sir, please tell me your name.
Señor, Roberto Mendoza.
Mr. Mendoza, do you want to have contact with your wife?
Señor Mendoza, ¿desea usted tener contacto con su esposa?
Yes, ma'am. Sí.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
¿Acaso le tiene miedo a ella?
No, solamente esto se salió de control y pasó un poco a mayores, pero nunca antes había pasado esto. Solo quería
No, just that things got a little bit out of control and kind of escalated, but nothing like this has ever happened before.
All right. Do you have any concerns about your safety or your children's safety if I were to allow her to come home?
Si yo le fuera a permitir a ella regresar al hogar, ¿acaso tendría usted alguna preocupación con respecto a su propia protección o la de sus hijos?
No.
No.
All right. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Señora Bush, ¿tiene alguna pregunta que hacerle a este testigo? No, su señoría, gracias.
Any questions for the defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
¿La defensa tiene alguna pregunta? Ninguna, su señoría.
Ms. Mendoza, you're not to have any hostile contact with your husband. Do you understand what that means?
Señora Mendoza, usted está prohibida tener ningún tipo de contacto hostil con su esposo. ¿Entiende usted lo que significa eso?
No entiendo qué es eso.
No, I do not understand what that is.
It means that you are not to act aggressively toward your husband in any way.
Es decir, que no se le permite a usted ser agresiva hacia su esposo de ninguna manera.
You are not to argue with him, you are not to fight with him, anything of that nature.
Prohibido usted pelear con él o discutir con él, nada de semejante a eso.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms, and I'm placing you on pretrial release.
Prohibido la tenencia de armas o cualquier arma de fuego y se le concede libertad provisional.
Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
All right, and I believe we can move to the headset at this time. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Buenos días, señor. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
José Antonio Mateo Hernández. José Antonio Mateo Hernández.
Jose Antonio Mateo Hernandez.
Sir, this is case number 20 CT 1674. You were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. There is probable cause. Sir, did you want to enter a plea to this case today?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer for Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt. 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served. Don't drive without a valid driver's license.
Mr. Hernandez, did you want to accept that offer?
Como no la entendí.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, 2 days in jail. You can't drive without a valid driver's license, and court costs.
Ok, ¿y no tengo que pagar fianza?
Okay, so I won't need to have to pay a bond?
Correct. The case will be over today.
¿Y si pago fianza ahora, salgo hoy no?
And if I post a bond today, I get today or not? Out today or not?
All right, sir, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You'll need to reappear for court on another day, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. Roasting it. You're dying. Good morning, sir. This is case number 20 CT 1657. Please tell me your name.
Alejandro Reséndiz Guzmán.
Alejandro Resendiz Guzman.
All right, sir. You're here in court this morning for me to inform you that you do have an immigration detainer. Thank you.
Sí, gracias. Sí.
Madam Interpreter, that's all we have this morning for the Spanish cases. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will disconnect.
Counselor, what case are you here on?
Stephanie Modestine, Your Honor.
What's last name?
Modestine, I'm sorry, Monestime.
Felony domestic violence, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. And tell me your name again?
Jake Parton,
That's
P-A-R-T-O-N.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Park. I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure. Oh, and it's the very next case. Oh, actually, I have to do the move up real quick, and then I'll get to your case, Mr. Pardon. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name.
Louis Agront?
Mr. Agront, you are here
No,
in
Mr.
20...
Agront. It's A-G-R-O-N-T.
Agront.
No, can I do it? L-U-I-S-A-G-R-O-N-T.
Okay, sir.
Can I have a moment, please?
Sure.
Louis Agront. Luis, L-U-I-S-A-G-R-O-N-T. 134-602-342. My social security number.
Sir, are you going to be able to listen to me and stop talking so we can talk about your case for a moment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
I don't have a case. I'm free to go, first of all. There's no reason for me to be detained. I'm digital 911, thank you.
Right. All right, sir, I'm going to find probable cause for the trespassing. You're not to return to the Citgo. Your bond is $500. Thank you.
Your Honor, would you have any objections to an ROR in this case?
Not today. I'm not confident he's going to understand enough to come back to court today.
All right, how
So
about
you
mental
can
health?
file a motion.
How about mental health pretrial release?
He can be screened, yes, for mental health pretrial release.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, Your Honor, that would be bond
Or mental health.
Mental health.
Thank you, Ms. Bush.
I'll try to pull him out, yeah.
Correct. Good morning, your name?
William Matthews.
Mr. Matthews, you're here in 20 MM 8768. This is your arraignment for the offense of resisting officer without violence and providing false ID to law enforcement. You are represented by the public defender. How would you like to proceed, Mr. Williams?
Your Honor, we will enter a plea of not guilty.
All right, Mr. Williams, you are in Division 61.
Yes, ma'am.
Your pretrial conference is going to be January 25th at 9:30 a.m. in courtroom 6B.
This is you said this is an arraignment,
This is an arraignment.
so I can't plea?
Not today, Your Honor, because of the diversion program for resisting, and I don't have the capability of doing that here.
But he's just sitting in jail.
Yeah, I've been sitting for a couple of months, and my lawyer told me we were supposed to get this resolved, like they dropped everything else.
Your
I'm sorry.
Honor, I'm looking at the time served. This date will make an adjudication credit time served of 62 days.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. Did you want to accept that, Mr. Williams?
Time served?
That's
Is that for
correct.
which charges, Your Honor?
For both.
Yes, absolutely. Time served?
Yes,
I will
sir.
take that.
Okay. Did you read the plea form before court?
No, ma'am, they didn't offer me one.
All right. So you understand by entering into this plea today that you are giving up your right to have a trial by a jury.
Okay.
You're going to give up your right to make the state of Florida prove that you committed these two offenses beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to be able to put on any evidence, witnesses, or defenses on your own behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, so would that mean like these two charges would be taken care of?
They'd be what?
They'd be taken care of?
Correct. They'll be over today.
Okay.
You won't be able to contest any of the evidence.
Okay.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Absolutely not.
All right, Mr. Matthews, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 62 days with credit for 62 days time served as to each count. Those will run concurrent to one another. You're going to have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 16th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal, sir.
Okay, can I just have one more question, Ms. Carter? They told me when I went to court last week, Mrs. Barber, Judge Elaine Barber, told me that my case, the entire case was dropped down in front of a misdemeanor judge, which
Okay.
I should be happy for that, she said, but for some reason, how come I'm only handling 2 charges today?
And, Your Honor, this is that matter.
So this is what the state filed on. So this is the case that you saw Judge Barber for, who informed you that they transferred it from a misdemeanor. The other case you had was 20 CF 11245, and then they filed on these 2 counts in county court.
So they dropped the other charges?
I don't know what was encompassed in that case.
They chose not to file on the other.
So whatever
Oh.
other pending charges were encompassed in that case, the state has chosen not to proceed on those.
So these should release me today?
Does he have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
You'll be released today.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Have a nice day, Mr.
You
Williams.
do the same.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Theodore Kadibi.
Sir, you are here in 20 MM 8252. This is your arraignment for the offense of trespassing. You're represented by the public defender. How would you like to proceed, Mr. Thompson?
Your Honor, the offer we have is an adjudication of guilt, 30 days in the Orange County Jail, no contact with the alleged victims in this case, no return to the Dollar General at 101 South Orange Blossom Trail, Orlando. Abide by all trespassing warnings and cost investigation of $104.62 to Orlando
Ms.
Police
Thompson, I
Department.
didn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cost of investigation of $104.62 to the Orlando Police Department,
Thank you.
and court costs if
All
he
right.
wants to accept.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I want to confirm that, meaning if I do this plea offer, I'll be going home today. Does that
Okay.
mean I'll be going home today?
All right. Does he have any other holds?
He does not, Your Honor.
You would be going home today, sir.
Yes, and then I will go proceed with the offer, ma'am.
Okay. Did you read the plea form before court?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the constitutional rights that you're giving up?
Not to mention that if I do proceed with this offer, I'll be going home today.
Right, we already, yes.
Yes,
You
I'm
are
sorry.
going to be going home today.
Yes. Okay. One thing I want to do, ma'am. Can you give me paperwork saying what I owe to the state for this charge so I make sure it's paid? I have a landlord who's my payee, who's over my check.
Okay.
Make sure I have paperwork that said I have to pay.
Yes, sir.
Please, so I can get this over. Like
You
I
will
have,
get-
I pay the state. I
Yes.
want to make sure that I pay you guys through my payee.
I understand your request, okay?
Yes.
I'm trying to respond to that,
Yes.
okay? You're going to get paperwork when you're released that's going to have all your court costs on it. I'm going to tell you today in court when it's due, so you'll be able to provide that paperwork to your landlord, okay?
I just want to make sure my payee pays it off with
So-
respect to the state.
Sir, I understand. I need you to focus on the questions I'm asking you so that we can proceed with the plea and you can get released.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Did you have any right or questions about the constitutional rights that you read on the plea form?
No, I'm very familiar with this.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
I am a citizen as of 02.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 days in jail. You've got credit for 30 days time served. You're not to return to the Dollar General or have any contact with the victim. You're going to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation of $104.62 to the Orlando Police Department. Those are going to be due by December 16th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Matthew John Petrovic.
Sir, you're here in 20 MM 6255. You failed to appear for your pretrial conference back on the 20th of November. Is there an offer for Mr. Petrovic?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 10 days Orange County Jail, 10 days credit time served and court costs.
Did you want to accept that offer, sir?
Ma'am, I can't pay for anything. All it needs for me is to give back my wallet after the first arrest, and I'm in a hotel chilling and taking care of myself.
I can't hear you. So my question to you was,
After that first arrest on May 1st, I don't have my wallet or ID to pay for any of this. Y'all didn't give it back after the 26th, ma'am. I had it in my pocket at the time of arrest on that bench at Tony Roma's. That's why I'm frustrated.
Mr. Petrovic, I don't have any information about that problem. I would ask that you talk to the public defender about that, or maybe go down to iDignity to see if you can get a new ID.
You asked me if I had any kind of, sorry to interrupt, but you asked me if I had any, or if I was okay with this.
No, I didn't. I asked you if you want to enter a plea. Would you like to do that or not?
How am I going to pay for a fine when you don't give me back
All
my
right, so
wallet
your
the whole
bond
time,
on each
ma'am?
count is $1,000. Thank you.
Great. I'm having luck. Get locked up. You do it yourself.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I need to give y'all a date for him. What division was that? 81. Okay, so his pretrial is going to be January 8th at 9 a.m. in court in 4E. All right. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Stephanie Monestein.
Ma'am, I'm going to need you to speak right into the microphone for me.
My name is Stephanie Monestein.
Thank you. And then Mr. Parton, did you want to put your appearance on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Jake Parton, Miss Modesty.
All right, this is 20 CF 14800. Ma'am, you were arrested for aggravated assault, domestic violence. There's probable cause, ma'am. Mr. Parton, did you want to be heard on bond?
I did, and I'll kind of dovetail it into the probable cause issue.
Okay.
I understand the court rule. My only issue would be the alleged victim in this case actually was arrested for a forcible felony stemming from the exact same thing. It would seem to me right to make an Ortez motion to dismiss on standing ground. If the victim is present, I could probably even take testimony. Probably would have to be granted based on just what's in the charging affidavit, and that's if there was even a situation where a knife was actually picked up. There didn't seem to be any evidence. I think the testimony from the alleged victim was it was picked up, threatened, and then somehow put back in the exact place it would be found, even if it was never picked up. So for those two reasons, and really from a legal standpoint, I think the standing ground issue based on probable cause being found for the arrest on the forcible felony probably puts us in a situation where it would have to be dismissed. For bonds, again, I would dovetail in the lack of evidence and that legal argument as to the strength of the case. I would point out that based on PTR's pretrial services investigation, my client has no prior criminal history of drug or alcohol or mental health issues, does qualify for PTR, and it seems the alleged victim did call in and desired contact as well. So I'd be asking for RR or PTR, no hostile contact, and it should be allowed to return to the residence if the court does find probable cause.
All right, thank you, Mr. Parton. Ms. Bush?
I'm going to start with the stand your ground.
Sure.
This is not the proper venue for stand your ground. That would have to be done by motion. However, the fact that it's a mutual combat does not negate whether or not there's probable cause contained within the four corners of the affidavit. The state would ask the court to maintain its finding of probable cause. As to bond, the state will defer to the court.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Pardon, I do think there's probable cause in the affidavit. You can certainly file all the appropriate motions that I know that you will. I am going to place her on pretrial release. Is there a witness here? He's in custody, correct?
I saw from the pretrial service that he called in, so I believe he actually bonded.
Is not, there was not an arrest, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there a witness here for Ms. Modestine?
No, Your Honor.
No, okay. So because I don't have a testifying witness, Mr. Pardon, I'm going to order no contact at this time. Certainly you can file a motion to have that modified. Ma'am, you're to maintain a separate residence. You may go back one time with the police to get your things if needed. As I always explain to everyone as well, if the other person or the alleged victim is not there, you can live there. You just, if they're there, you can't be there, okay? And that's why we do the one-time return. In the event that they are, you're able to get the things that you need. And then no weapons or firearms, ma'am. Okay? Any questions?
No questions.
Basically, you're gonna be able to get out today, but if you stay there, you can't go back to the residence. If he's not there, you can't call him, call him, message him, no contact whatsoever. You will get that back here from no longer, okay? Call our office and all the other modifications. Thank you very much, John.
All right, you're welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank you too. Take care.
All right, man, take it.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Terrell.
Are you Mr. Nobles?
Yes.
Mr. Nobles, you were arrested in 20 CF 14817 for battery with one prior domestic violence. This was pursuant to a capias. The state has filed a one-count information charging you with that offense. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond, sir, is $1,000. Thank you.
My bad.
That's for everything?
You only have the one case.
One
here,
case?
okay?
I'm about to pass out. I've been throwing in plasma.
Good morning. Your name?
Oh, Ivanisha Bell.
Miss Bell, this is 20MM8880. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Audrey Gomez.
Ms. Gomez, this is 20MM8875. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name, please.
Josue Batista.
Mr. Batista? Okay.
Right.
Mr. Batista, I need you to keep your mask up.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
sure.
And then speak into the mic. It's really hard for us to hear you.
Got
Thank
you. Yeah.
Sir, do you want to have contact with Ms. Gomez?
Yes, I would like to have contact with my girlfriend.
Are you afraid of her?
No,
All right. You have any concerns at all about your safety if I were to allow contact?
I actually want her to, I want her released today.
I can't hear you.
I actually want her released today. Like this is
All right,
this
thank
is
you.
something that never happened to us, and and this happened, so something new to us that happened to us, and this never happened to us, and
I can't hear anything you're saying.
I said that this is something that the first time ever happened to us, like,
Okay.
and
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bush, do you
wouldn't
have
want
any
her,
questions?
my girlfriend, to be in there.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Thompson?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you are not to have any hostile contact with Mr. Batista. Do you understand what that means?
Can you explain that
Yes,
again?
ma'am. It means that you are not to act aggressive. You can't fight with him. You can't yell at him. You can't send him mean texts. You can't do anything. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
All right, you can't possess any weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait, I can't talk like about my story?
No, ma'am.
Question, Miss Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Would she get
She'll
released?
be released today.
Oh, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it just me, or is it just terrible? Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Philip Sutherland.
What is it?
Michael Philip Sutherland.
All right. How about Mr. Rios?
Rios is in,
What is it?
he's in the hospital, y'all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll reset that one until it gets out. Sorry, I have to take off my robe. Mr. Sutherland, you are here in case number 20MM8887. You were arrested for battery domestic violence.
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return to get your things if needed. I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
All right.
Thank you.
So I'll be released today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning. Your name?
Shannon Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, you were here in 20 CT 7773. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license, sir, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Before you go to court, try to see if you can work on that driver's license, okay? Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Morning.
Hey, Mr. Carr.
Carl.
Mr. Carr, you are here in 20 CT 7775. You were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond's $500. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. Mr. Carr, I'm not going to revoke your bond today for your out on bond case, but you cannot continue to drive. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I don't think another judge would be as forgiving, so if you come back on another driving case, you're probably gonna be staying.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
I mean, can I get out on bond?
You can today,
Okay.
but if you come back through here driving without a valid driver's license, you're not gonna be getting out.
Oh,
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
My name's Nanhun. Good morning, my honor.
Sir, you are here in 20 CT 1126. You were arrested for DUI. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Can I say something, my honor?
No, sir. All right, I'm gonna revoke the pretrial release and set the bond in that matter at $1,000.
Have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure. Miss Valles, did she bond?
Bonded, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are you Norbert Cody?
Alan Pinkney.
Pink,
Pardon me?
Pinkney.
What's your name?
Alan Pinkney.
What program traffic?
What kind of case are we on?
Traffic.
I don't have that case.
I don't have it either.
My brother had a warrant for his arrest, and It was, sorry.
It's a traffic case?
Yes.
This gentleman, I don't have him. Do you have a case number?
He bonded on his traffic case, Your Honor. I think he had out of county case. I don't know if we had paperwork for that.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I left him on the list.
What's the name again?
Pickney?
Pickney? No.
I wasn't sure, but he bonded on his Orange County traffic case.
But was he already seen on the out of county?
I wasn't sure. It looked like he hadn't been.
Does he have, what's the other case? Can you see Miss Davis?
Yeah, it hasn't been served.
Okay, hasn't been served. Okay, it looks like you have an out of county warrant that hasn't been served.
It's my twin brother.
You'll have to talk with your lawyer about that, sir. I have no way to prove or disprove that. Thank you.
Dallas bonded, Your Honor?
Don't have that one.
Okay.
I have Norbert. What?
You passed that one on.
I passed it?
Who is it?
Cody is medical, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. So, Mr. Thompson, did you want to enter a not guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 20 CT 7589, that's a Division 61 case. Pretrial conference is January 25th at 9:30 a.m. in courtroom 6B. Cora Guzman.
Also medical, Your Honor?
Mr. Thompson, you represent Mr. Guzman. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, are we on the arraignment docket?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. That one is Division 83. Pretrial conference January 20th. What's the last name? Guzman. 9 a.m. courtroom 6C. 2020 MM 8777 Wilanov Guli.
Right here.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you are being arraigned on the offense of trespass on property other than a structure or a conveyance. Was there an offer for Mr. Guli?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 67 days Orange County Jail, 67 days credit time served, no contact with victim or witness, no return to the scene, the quick shop at 5100 North Lane in Orlando, abide by all trespass warnings, cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $150.48, and court costs.
Sir, did you want to accept that offer?
You say credit time served today?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did you read the plea form?
They didn't give me no plea form.
Okay. Take a look at that plea form for me and then let me know if you have any questions about any of the constitutional rights that you'll be giving up.
Was that case lowered to a misdemeanor case?
Yes.
Okay.
I read it. Oh, Your Honor. That with the credit time served, I get to go home today, right?
Does he have any other holds?
I'm trying to figure out, was that case started with a CF 11781 case?
Yes.
Okay, yes, he'll be going home today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Did you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 67 days in jail. You've got credit for 67 days time served. You're not to have any contact with the victim or witnesses. You can't return to the scene, and you must abide by the trespass warning. You'll need to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation, to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $150.48. Those will be due by December 16th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Tina Hale.
Ms. Hale, this is 20MM 8021, your arraignment for the offense of possession of drug paraphernalia. Was there an offer for Ms. Hale?
Yes, Your Honor. It was an adjudication of guilt, 39 days Orange County Jail, 39 days credit time served. Cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $112 and court costs.
Did you want to accept the offer, ma'am?
Yes.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Pardon me?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
I have a hold in Monroe County, and that's
Okay,
what I
but are
thought
you on
this was for.
probation?
Yes,
You are?
yes.
Okay. So knowing that this plea will violate your probation, did you want to proceed?
I do have a question. I did the diversion program and sent the certificate to my attorney, and
And Your Honor, I did not see, I wasn't aware that she was on probation.
Your Honor, we accept plea not guilty.
I'm sorry, what?
We didn't enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, sure. Division 61, pretrial conference is January 25th at 9:30 a.m. in courtroom 6B. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't get the courtroom.
6B.
Thank you.
Division 61. Pretrial conference, January 25th, 9:30 a.m., 6B? Yeah? Okay. Renard Lee? Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is 20MM 8050. Sir, this is your arraignment for the offense of providing false ID to law enforcement. Was there an offer for Mr. Lee?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 40 days Orange County Jail, 38 days Orange County Jail, 38 days credit time served. No return to Brothers Convenience Store at 1351 West Gore Street in Orlando. Cost of investigation to Orlando Police Department in the amount of $75 and court costs.
Sir, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read the plea form?
I did.
Do you have any questions about the rights you're giving up?
Ma'am?
Do you
no,
have any
no.
questions about the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am. I agree.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 38 days in jail. You've got credit for 38 days time served. You're not to return to the Brothers Convenience Store. You will need to abide by the trespass warning. You have to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $75.
Okay.
Those are going to be due by December 16th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, I do have a question.
Sure.
So does that mean I'm released today?
Ms. Davis?
No, he has a felony case that's holding him.
You have a felony case that's holding you.
Oh, yeah, I know. I got a court case that's besides that. Yeah,
I don't know about that case, so you have to talk with your lawyer, okay? But this case is over.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yep. Good morning, are you Mr. Micklish? No?
This is downtown court, Your Honor.
All right. This is a battery offense, Mr. Thompson. You do represent him. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's Division 82. Pretrial conference, January 25th at 10:30 a.m. in courtroom 10B.
Nicole O'Neill is medical.
Don't have that one. I have Dion Jarrell Richardson.
Yes, sir.
Is that you, sir? Sir, this is your arraignment for the offense of 20 MM 6494 for the offenses of disorderly intoxication and resisting officer without violence. Was there an offer for Mr. Richardson?
No, Your Honor, we enter a plea of not guilty.
All right, sir. You are Division 80. Pretrial conference is January 15th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 9C. Thank
Can
you.
I, so this just for the misdemeanors,
That's right.
so I can't get my bond back?
Have to have your lawyer file a motion. You're not in jail on that case, on this case. I don't know about your other cases, though.
I am in jail on that case.
You're not.
On the 6494 case?
It says not in jail on this case. Is he?
Yeah, he's in jail on this case. Or resisting without violence?
And disorderly? Is it attached to a felony?
It has a felony case as well in here.
Okay. That's why your lawyer's not gonna let you resolve it today, because if you enter a plea on this case, it could affect your felony case.
No, I'm saying I caught these cases after the other cases. I just want my bond back on my other
Yeah, you
case.
can't do that today. You have to have a motion filed for a bond. Today's not a bond hearing. Thank you.
And Your Honor, with regard to Nicole O'Neill, I'm showing that there was a written plea of not guilty.
Is it Anthony O'Neill?
No, I have Nicole O'Neill.
I don't have that.
I thought you had mentioned her just prior to this gentleman. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have paperwork for that person. I have a Anthony O'Neill Stringer.
He's medically young.
Mr. Thompson, do you want to enter plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a Division 80 case. Pretrial conference, January 15th, 9 a.m., courtroom 9C. So we need to address the Nicole O'Neill case, or it was a written plea of not guilty?
Written plea is not guilty.
Thank you, everyone. All right, I have to go sign an emergency warrant, so I'll be back. Oh, all right. We'll go off the record for a moment. How about Christina Brown?
She's mental health, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Thompson, do you want to waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
20 MM 8890, she was arrested for battery and for sanitary nuisance. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent her. She's not to have any contact with the victim. She's not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count 1 is 500. Bond on count 2 shall be ROR'd.
Your Honor, is there any possibility for a mental health pretrial release? She's what, 26 years old, and she has
Sure,
zero
she can
criminal
be,
history.
she can be screened for mental health pretrial release, and she can be placed
Thank
on
you.
that if she qualifies.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Robert Crew.
Mr. Crew, this is 20 MM 8886. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning, as well as resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Crew?
Not today, Your Honor. And that has to do with the resisting matter and whether or not there's an availability of a video diversion.
Of what?
A video diversion program, Your Honor. Apparently, it's not based on history.
Mr. Crew, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today. You can't return to the Valencia campus. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case. Thank
Okay.
you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Your name?
Anthony Goins.
Mr. Goins, this is 20 MM 8867. You were arrested for trespassing and for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Goins?
Yes, Your Honor. It's, I apologize. I just need one moment, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the Gator Park or Orange County Regional History Center on East Central Boulevard in Orlando, abide by any trespass warnings and court costs.
Is it an adjudication as to each count?
No, Your Honor, the state will file paperwork on count 2.
You'll do a withhold on count 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Goins?
Actually, Your Honor, the state will just file a no bill on.
A no bill?
two.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you want to plea, you'll plead to the trespass. The state's going to dismiss the cannabis charge. And it's 4 days in jail. You've got credit for 2, so you got to do 1 more. You can't go back to the history center.
That's fine. Yes, ma'am. I'll take that deal.
Okay, and then you got to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much, y'all.
You are welcome, Mr.
All right,
Goins.
that's it. One more day, and that's it.
Yes, sir. Did you, Mr. Goins, just stick with me. Just
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
more minutes. Did you read the plea form?
Yes, I did.
You have any questions about any of the constitutional rights you're giving up?
No problem.
Are you on probation?
Nope.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Nope.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty as to count 1, which is the trespass on property after warning. You are not to return to the History Center or the Gator Park there.
No problem.
And you'll have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 16th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal. Ms. Bush, you had an announcement as
Yes,
to
Your
count
Honor.
2.
As to count 2 in 2020 MM 8867 AO, the state announces a no information notice.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Goins.
Thank you. Going home, right? One day.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Delbert Holbrook.
Mr. Holbrook, this is 20 MM 8891. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. Oh, well, is there an offer, Ms. Bush, for Mr. Holbrook?
What was that?
I'm asking the state if she has an
I'm
offer
just
for you.
checking to be sure he's not on probation, and he's not. Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt. 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
You actually have 1 day, Mr. Holbrook.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 day credit
That's okay.
time served.
Did you want to accept the offer?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Did you read the plea form?
I didn't see it. What was it? Oh, this, yes.
All right. Did you have any questions about any of the constitutional rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in jail. You've got credit for 1 day time served. You'll have to pay court costs due by December 16th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Jimmy Lorgood, his behavior, Your Honor.
I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior in 20 MM 606. He was arrested for loitering or prowling. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. His bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on his other cases. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Shantae Morris.
Miss Morris, you are here in 20 MM 8892. You were arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and for resisting officer without violence. Ms. Bush, were you going to make an offer on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, based on the fact that they're prior battery law enforcement and resisting, I can't. It's an adjudication of guilt, 10 days Orange County Jail, and this is as to count 2. 10 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
Ms. Morris, did you want to accept that offer? No. Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Charles Nathaniel.
Mr. Nathaniel, this is MM 8885. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. Was there an offer for Mr. Nathaniel?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the Denny's on T.G. Lee Boulevard, no contact with witnesses or victim, abide by all trespass warnings, and court costs.
Sir, did you want to accept that offer?
Yeah.
All right. Did you read the plea form?
Yes.
Are you, do you have any questions about any of the rights on the plea form?
Not about that, but I have one question. So
What's
that
your
means I can't bond out?
You're going to be able to bond out.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about the rights on the plea form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in jail. You've got credit for 2. You're not to return to the Denny's. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You need to abide by the trespass warning. You'll have to pay court costs, which are going to be due by December 16th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal, sir, and I'll take no action on your other case. Thank you.
Angela Oxus is mental health.
That's 20 MM 8889. Mr. Thompson, I'll appoint your office to represent her. Did you want to waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. She was arrested for trespass in a dwelling after warning. There's probable cause. She's not to return to the scene or have contact with the victim. Her bond is $500. Good morning. Your name?
Anthony Lucchese.
How about Luis Hernandez? 20 30027388. Looks like it was a Spanish case, maybe.
He bonded, Your Honor.
He did, okay.
Non-playable.
And you're Mr. Lucchese, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are here because you failed to appear in 20 MM 6183 on the offense of possession of drug paraphernalia. It looks like you were just arrested again in 20 MM 8884 for possession of drug paraphernalia. There's
Ma'am.
probable cause.
Okay.
Ms. Bush, do you have an offer on both cases for Mr. Lucchese?
Your Honor, if I may have a moment to,
Sir, did you want to enter a plea on these cases if you could today?
I'm not sure. I didn't even know that I had a failure to appear on the case. I always go to court and I never have a failure to appear. I thought that I was told all the cases were dropped, so I didn't know that I had a failure to appear. Or I would have went to court because I always show up at court. I never have a failure to appear.
Okay, but I understand, but did you want to resolve the case today?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, we can. Yes, ma'am.
Is it in there?
and Your Honor, the offer would be an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs.
All right. As to each case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
accept that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you read the plea form?
Yes.
You have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
All right. How many days in 6183?
Yes, 2 days.
2 days, thank you. In each case, I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Those will run concurrent to one another. You'll have to pay court costs in each case. Those will be due by December 16th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let me just take a minute to do this.
Mr. Nick Ron?
Who was that?
Mr. Negron?
No, he's there.
Oh, he's back.
Steve Negron? Good morning. Are you Mr. Negron?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 20 MM 8051. You failed to appear for your arraignment for the offense of petty theft. Was there an offer for Mr. Negron?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may have a moment just to get back and see the
Two, thank you.
It would be an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served. I was not able to calculate that. No contact with victim or witness. No return to the scene, which is the Coles at 422 North Alafaya Trail in Orlando. Abide by all trespass warnings. And I need one more moment to make sure that everything was recovered.
Okay. Mr. Negron, did you want to accept the offer from the state?
No, I'm not even sure what this is from.
So you failed to appear for court for the offense of petty theft. It's alleged that you stole something from Kohl's.
Yeah, I just had a case, I think like 5 or 6 months ago. I just bonded out from the same store and they dismissed the charges, so all this is new to me.
So did you want to just post your bond on this case and go to court on another day?
Yeah, that's what I'm
All right,
trying to
that's
do.
fine, sir. Thank you. Your bond's $2,000.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, was the PD previously appointed to Mr. Negron? I'm not showing counsel.
I don't know. Okay, I'll point the PD. He has a form. Thank you, Ms. Bush. Mercedes?
Behavior, Your Honor.
All right, well, I'm gonna find a waiver of his appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior in 20 MO 1334. He was arrested for disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. He is not to have any contact with the victim. He's not to return to Tier nightclub. His bond is $500. I'm gonna revoke the bond in 20 MM 542. That bond will be set at none.
Roman, bonded.
Thank you.
Mr. Stone also bonds, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning. Tell me your name. Sir, you're here in 20 MO 1337. You were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. Ms. Bush, do you have an offer for Mr. Valenzuela?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time, 1 day Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, and court costs.
Sir, did you want to take that offer?
Yes.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Understand.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in jail. You've got credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are going to be due by December 16th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Aragon?
Medical, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna waive his appearance. It's an out-of-county warrant from Polk County. The teletype indicates that he is not to have any bond until first appearance. I'm gonna set bond at $25,000. Polk County's transporting, so if you can't post it, we'll come pick him up. Michael Flowers?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. You were here for a warrant out of St. Johns County. The bond is set at none. I'm going to appoint the public defender here in Orange County to represent you to coordinate with St. Johns County if needed. I don't know if that is a county. I don't believe that they are transporting at this time between the jails. So we will reach out to St. Johns County to see if they'd like to set a bond on your case. Otherwise, you'll have to work with the public defender here to file any appropriate motions to see if you can get the case resolved.
Okay, can I ask you, when was that warrant, when was the warrant signed on that? Is that from a, I just want to say, because it's a petty theft, is it not, Your Honor?
It is.
So I'm just understanding why it's a no bond. I know you don't have nothing to do, but a no bond on a petty theft?
It's because you failed to appear. Normally, if you fail to appear, a judge will issue a no bond.
Okay, can I have the date on the warrant, please?
I don't have that information. It doesn't tell me the date that you failed to appear. I don't have the actual capias, I just have the teletype.
Can I have a, like a status hearing or something, like in so long to come back in front of you or
So
something?
once we hear back from St. Johns County, I'll place you on the next docket to let you know what the outcome of that was, and then you can decide what the next step is for you.
Awesome, all right.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
You're
good one.
welcome, sir. Good morning, your name?
Mitchell Formansky, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You were here for an out-of-county warrant out of Miami-Dade County.
Yeah.
Again, sir, your bond is set at none. It's related to a battery on a law enforcement officer.
A really long time, like 5 years ago.
It was in 2016.
I turned myself in. I was going through a lot of stuff back and forth across like being homeless, and like they wouldn't extradite. So I figured, I was like, I'm just gonna go. It's the last thing I have to do. Like,
Sure. So listen, Mr. Formansky, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the prior gentleman. I don't know if Miami-Dade is transporting or not. So I'm going to appoint the public defender here to help you coordinate with them.
Okay.
I will reach out to see if they'd like to set you a bond on that case. Once I hear back from Miami-Dade, I'll bring you back to court to let you know what the response was.
okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
George Garcia's hospital, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna waive the appearance on that. It's an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County. The bond is set at none. That way Osceola County can come and pick them up.
Senator Lincoln refused.
I'm gonna find a waiver of her appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. It's a Lake County warrant. Lake County is transporting, but the bond is $2,000. Mr. Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lopez, you were here for an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. This is related to a violation of a domestic injunction and tampering in a misdemeanor proceeding. Was he already served the 20 CF 167?
No, Your Honor.
He's not been served that yet?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So this case is 19 MM 244. This is for your violation of probation. It's for violation of a domestic injunction. The bond is set at none. Osceola County is going to come and pick you up, sir. It looks like you also have another warrant that needs to be served on you. That's out of Osceola County as well. Thank you.
You said another warrant?
There's another warrant. Yep, and it's a felony warrant, and it's for battery, violation of an injunction, and tampering in a misdemeanor proceeding. That one has bonds on it.
Yeah, I just had to read over the teletype before I answered. Osceola sent a teletype requesting to remove that hold, so it won't be served on him. He's just with the other case that he's being seen today.
Got it.
That's
okay.
it.
So I guess they've asked us to remove that hold on that other warrant. So you just have the one case, and Osceola County will come and get you.
All right.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Nelson Perez Roman.
Sir, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County, Florida. It's a violation related to possession of methamphetamine. The bond is $25,000. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, Seminole County will come and pick you up. Thank you. Mr. Pollard bond,
Inmate number, Your Honor?
20027391.
Yes, Your Honor.
He did. Okay. Ms. Bush, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. The state's ready.
Okay. Twenty CF 12473 Russell Mile.
There. I apologize. My finger hit the, there's a notice of non-filing on December 14th.
Thank you. 20 CF 13666 Irvin Royal Jr.
A notice of non-filing on December 15th.
Granted. 20 CF 13591 Stephen Baptiste.
And information was filed on December 15th. Filing ID is 11824-0615.
I'm sorry, Ms. Bush. Could you say that for me one more time?
Filing ID is 11824-0615.
Thank you. That'll be denied. 20 CF 13596.
That matter has been consolidated with the prior matter in 20 CF 13591, in which an information was filed.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 11238 Simon Shackelford.
An information was filed on December 15th. Filing ID is 11825-4867.
All right, that'll be denied. Anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing for the state, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll be in recess. Good afternoon, I'm Judge Carter. If I could have the state and the defense place their appearances on the record, please.
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Jay Thompson on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Brandon James Corbett.
Mr. Corbett, you were here in 20 CF 14820. You were arrested for trafficking in MDMA, greater than 10 grams but less than 200. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir.
Okay, there's no kind of way I can get off.
Your bond on count 1 is going to be $20,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name?
Robert Hires.
Mr. Hires, you were arrested in 20 CF 14571 pursuant to a warrant for lewd or lascivious battery and battery when prior. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to have any contact with the victim and no unsupervised contact with anyone under the age of 18. Your bond on
Your
count.
Honor,
Yes.
before the court gets to bond, may the state be heard.
Sure.
The state has provided the court and defense counsel with copies of the judgment and sentence from a prior conviction, and pursuant to the statute, right now it appears to be listed in the system as an F2 felony.
Correct.
However, pursuant to statute, and it should be an F1, not a life felony, but an F1. And subsection C of the statute says a person commits a felony of the first degree, and goes on to say if the person was previously convicted of a violation, and then it enumerates the violations. It includes 794.011. And the state would ask the court to take that into consideration when setting bond.
Certainly, Ms. Switch. Thank you. Did the defense want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, your bond on count 1 is going to be $75,000, and bond on count 2 will be $10,000. Thank you.
Your Honor, he does have reporting.
Oh, sir, you do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name? Your name, sir?
David. Valentin.
Sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 14769 pursuant to a warrant for lewd or lascivious molestation on a victim less than 12, soliciting sexual activity with a child in a familial or custodial relationship, sexual battery on a child under 12, and lewd or lascivious molestation on a victim less than 12. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Thompson?
Yes, Your Honor. Me and the state have stipulated bonds. Count 1 in the amount of $10,000. Count 2 $100,000. Count 3, $5,000. Count 4, $5,000.
No, I'm sorry, count 3 is the 100,000.
Oh, count 3 is 100,000. Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Count 3 will be 100,000. Count 2 will be 5,000.
What's 4?
$5,000, Your Honor.
Ms. Bush, you're not proceeding on a proof evident presumption grade argument?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Valentine, I'm going to sub on in the amount of $10,000 on count 1, $5,000 on count 2, $100,000 on count 3, and $5,000 as to count 4. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are not to have any contact with anyone under the age of 18. Do you have a passport, sir?
Your Honor, he said he doesn't speak English too well.
Okay, no problem.
And Your Honor, can we have it include the victim's family as well?
Hello, Cisco Unity connection. Hello, Cisco Unity connection messaging system.
Take a seat in the back and we'll recall your case. Good afternoon, your name?
Ibn Sharif Saunders.
Mr. Saunders, you are here in 18 CF 8551. It is alleged that you have violated your community control by committing a criminal offense of assaulting, resisting, or impeding an employee of the United States Postal Service. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
May I speak?
Sure.
I believe, thank you, because I didn't know. They came and served me with warrant yesterday, and they didn't tell me nothing about it, really. He just said I got a warrant, and told me a charge, and just left. I'm sorry, but I know this charge that I've been charged with. I was charged with my violation of community control around the time I caught this charge.
Okay.
And I've already went to court for that violation of community control October 27th.
Okay.
I believe I brought paperwork October 27th, and they gave me a GPS ankle monitor that same day for the violation. So I believe I don't know if, this would be this would basically be me getting another whole violation, but some of my charges were covered with that community control violation as well. So, and I seen after I went to court that day for the violation, all of them were taking off the charges so I could see the actual charges.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to talk to your lawyer because I'm looking at the warrant and this was signed on December 10th
Right.
by Judge Calderon. Is that your trial judge?
December 10th, no. But I know they just brought me a warrant today. I've been here for like 3 months, and they just brought me the warrant today. But around the time this happened was like around July. But they just brought me a warrant yesterday.
This one indicates that the basis for this violation is that you were arrested on October 8th of 2020 for this offense by federal marshals. So again, I think this is probably a little more complicated than I can handle today. You'll need to talk to your lawyer about it. That's the basis of the violation. And this new warrant was signed December 10th.
You said October, okay, sorry
That's okay.
for wasting your time. October 8th, I was arrested September 21st.
Sir, I don't have
He
all
has
the information.
multiple violations of probation.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to talk to your lawyer about all your different cases, okay?
Okay,
Thank you. Mr. Adams?
He's mental health, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender in 20 CF 14831. He was arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle, possession of MDMA, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 150. Bond on count 3 is 100. Does not have any contact with the victim. He also has an out-of-county warrant from Palm Bay County. Bond on each count is $1,000. Are you Mr. Akins?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. How are you today?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you. You have 3 cases. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in each.
Yes, ma'am.
You were arrested in 20 CF 14814 for burglary of a conveyance. There is probable cause. Bond is $3,500. 20 CF 14815. You were arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance. Your bond will be $150. 20 CF 14816. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance. Your bond will be $150. You are not to have any contact with any of the victims. You're not to return to the scene of any offense, sir. What's your question?
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm a little bit confused because I don't know what's going on here. I was walking in a...
Don't talk about the facts of the
sir,
case.
No. I don't want to hear about what your defense is today. That's something you'll have to talk with your lawyer about, okay?
No, ma'am. I'm trying to understand. I didn't break into any car.
I'm not, sir, listen to me.
and
Very
there's
close.
no
Listen
victim.
to me. I'm not saying that you did. I'm telling you why you were arrested. You're trying to explain to me why you're not guilty, and you're presumed to not be. What I'm telling you is you need to talk to your lawyer about that.
Okay, can I
Thank you,
have,
Mr. Akins.
Okay, can I be released? All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name, sir?
Jacques Ansel.
Mr. Ansel, sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 14811 for burglary of a conveyance. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both of your cases. Bond on count 1 is $3,500. Bond, in 20 CF 14812, you were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and possession of a prescription drug without a prescription. Bond on count 1 is $150. Bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to return to the scene. You're not to have any contact with any of the victims in either case. And I'm revoking your bond in 20 MM 4354. That's going to be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe he has another case.
There
He was
is a-
supposed to have 3 cases.
There's a third case, attempted burglary of a conveyance under 14813.
I did this one. I did 1482. Oh, yes, there is. I even tabbed it. 20 CF 14813, attempted burglary of a conveyance. There's probable cause. Bond will be $150. It's the same condition, sir. No return to the scene, no contact with any victims.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to have a question. I got shot 3 months ago. I still don't have no investigation of who shot me.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name?
Robert Berger.
Mr. Berger, you are here in case number 20 CF 14823. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding and 2 counts of grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender in both of your cases. In 20 CT 7774, you were arrested for driving a license suspended. There's probable cause for that offense as well. Bond in that case will be $100. In 14823, bond on count 1 will be $2,500. Bond on count 2 will be $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. You're not to have any contact with any of the victims, sir. And I'm also going to place you on pretrial release.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Are you Miss Burgess?
Yes.
Ma'am, you have two cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both. You were arrested in 20 CF 14792 for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. In 20 CT 7777, you were arrested for driving while license suspended. There's probable cause for both of the cases. Bond on count 1 in 14792 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 100. Bond in 777 will be also $100. Ma'am, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription, ma'am. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond cases. Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Nathaniel Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, you were here in 20 CF 14754. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, criminal mischief, and battery. This was pursuant to a warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Thompson?
Brief moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, first of all, the defense will not be holding the state to their verdict today. We will reserve our right for after hearing downtown.
Okay.
My client would like to address you despite my legal advice. I told him not to talk about the facts of the case. I can't prevent him from speaking today, but it's against my legal advice.
What would you like to say, Mr. Campbell?
I just honestly, the situation that I was put in, I'm not going to get into depth to it until I get an actual lawyer for it, but I'm 21 years old. I have 3 kids, a newborn baby. My wife just had a baby. She had a hernia. She can't lift the kids. I have to go to work, and the only person that can really help me is my mom. I really need this bond to go home. If I would be able to be blessed to be on ankle monitor or whatever the case is, I have children, and they need me, and there's nobody else that's going to be there. This charge, after this case is done, I promise you, this case is really petty. As big as the names seem on the charges, I have an understanding of the whole situation completely, knowing the fact that this is not what it is. Because, you know what I'm saying, I won't get too deep into it, but I'm just asking, please, if I could go home to my family. Even if it's...
I'm not going to set a bond for you today. That your attorney has indicated that they're not going to be holding the state to their burden as to whether there's proof evident or presumption great. The state does have the opportunity to do that. And so at this time, the bond is going to remain at none as to count 1. You'll be able to have a full hearing on that in Division 22. I'll say the bond is to the other counts. You're not to have any contact with the victim, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, may we have a no return to the scene as well?
I wasn't going to put any other conditions because he's not going to be out of the jail, so I
That's-
figure though, I just want to make sure that you don't contact the victim while
No,
you're here.
that's fine. Also, one other question. Is there a way that I could speed this up? Because I really have a newborn baby. And
So the first thing that I would do is I would contact the public defender's office and let them know that you need to have your bond motion filed.
And why is my bond being revoked, if I may
It's not
ask?
being revoked, but you've been arrested for a life felony, and the bond on that at this time is set at none.
Your Honor, for the record, I told him that we're going to file an author hearing downtown, hopefully within 3 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
And there's no way you can do ankle monitor for me, please?
We don't have
I don't
that
even have a
capability,
record,
sir.
ma'am. Like, I'm not even...
I'm
this,
not
I'm not
giving
just-
you a bond today. Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Christian Philip Davidson, ma'am.
Mr. Davidson, this is 20 CF 14641. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance pursuant to a warrant. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. It looks like this is an add-on from the 20 CF
Yes, ma'am.
13534 case. where you were arrested on November 11th. It's the same arrest date. So, Mr. Davidson, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on this case. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My other
I'm not
ones,
taking any action on that.
my other holds, because I was,
So you had a hold because you were out on bond for
Okay.
that case, but from my reading of the affidavit, I believe that this new warrant that came in is tied to what your holds are.
Correct.
That's why I'm releasing you on that
Okay.
case and not taking any action on
so
that
I'll be out today
hold.
then?
Okay?
Thank you very much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Fernandez Bundy, Your Honor. Fernandez.
Okay, and also Burkett Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Fernandez bonded. Amos Falk.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you were arrested in 20 CT 7785, 20 CT 7787, and 20 CT 7788 for driving while license revoked as a habitual offender, DUI prior conviction, and refusal to submit to a DUI test. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond bond on count 1 is going to be 500. Bond on count 2 is 500. Bond on count 3 is 500. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive without a valid driver's license. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, your name?
Good evening, Your Honor. My name is Wilgens Gideus.
Thank you, sir. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 14825 for driving while your license is revoked.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gideus, I'm revoking your bond in 20 CF 6583. That's going to be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear the bond on the
Oh,
dwelling.
2,500.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
My name's Curtis Johnston.
Mr. Johnson, sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 12928. This was pursuant to a warrant for dealing in stolen property and false verification to a pawnbroker. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 2,500. Your bond on count 2 is going to be 150. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to return to the scene, sir. Thank you.
They're my grandparents, and they're not pressing charges against me.
Well, that's not up to your grandparents.
And,
It's actually
yeah.
up to the state. So right now, you're not to have any contact with them.
Okay.
If you do, it'll be a violation of your pretrial release conditions, and you'll be returned to the jail. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name? Tell me your name, sir.
Michael Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence, you're here in 19 CF 15742. You failed to appear for court on December 9th for your status hearing. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, and they'll need to
Hey.
file a bond motion, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did I fail to,
I don't know how you failed to appear, sir, but that's what the KP is
you talking about it this year?
I think it says 20, maybe it's 2019. Nope, December 9th of 2020. You failed to appear for court. Thank
I
you, sir.
wasn't even at home. I was kicked out. I was homeless. I got discharged last year.
All right, sir, thank you.
That was my first court date.
Sir, I don't know. You'll have to ask your lawyer.
I didn't hear what she said about my bond. I didn't hear her. Hi.
Sir, are you here, Mr. Joseph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, tell me your name.
Richard Parker.
Okay. Dexter, could we pull Andy Joseph? It's a felony VOP.
He's already on.
He is, okay. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Wolf Lindor.
Mr. Lindor, you have 3 cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in each case. 20 CF 5747, you failed to appear for court. Mr. Lindor, let me see, let me check all of these cases real quick.
Your Honor, it was stated that he wouldn't qualify for regular PTR due to some competency issues.
Was what?
Due to like mental health. So maybe strike regular PTR and put mental health PTR.
It looks like he should be able to qualify for mental health. Okay, I'll put mental health PTR. Mr. Lindor, I'm gonna have you screen for mental health pretrial release to see if we can get you released onto that. Do you have your family's address? Do you know that?
No, I don't remember the address.
Do you know their phone number?
No, I don't remember the phone number.
You don't know?
No.
Do you think they're gonna look for you here?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, I give him my dad's number.
Who?
I give him my dad's number.
You know your dad's phone number?
Yes, I give it to them.
Can you give me that phone number? Mr. Thompson, are you writing this down?
It's 47485.
What is it?
485.
485?
Yes, 9544.
9544.
9544. 407-485-9544. What's your dad's name?
His name is Lucian Lindor.
Grisham?
Lucian.
Lucius.
Lucian.
With an N.
Lucian. And same last name, Lindor?
Yes, Lindor.
All right. And you don't know where you stay at? Can't remember.
I stay on Sedgewood.
On where?
On Sedgewood, Hawaii and Sedgewood Drive.
Hawaii and Sedgewood.
Yeah, in Sedgewood Drive.
Sedgewood Drive.
All right. Mr. Thompson, please write that down, and then maybe you can send that over to mental health PTR.
Yeah, I'm emailing his attorney.
And to the
as well.
lawyers? Okay, so I'm gonna stay the bonds as to each case. They're all set at $1,000. And I'm gonna have you screen for mental health pretrial release, Mr. Lindor, okay? So someone's gonna come talk to you about your release. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, Richard Parker appearing for Mr. Andy Joseph.
All right, Mr. Joseph, you were arrested in 17 CF 9885. It's for a violation of probation. It is alleged, sir, that you moved without getting permission and that you left your county of residence without getting permission. It's also alleging new law offenses in Newport County, Rhode Island, as well as Norfolk, Massachusetts. It also indicates that you failed to pay your court fines and court costs, and you haven't completed your community service hours. Mr. Parker?
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. A couple of things. Mr. Joseph lives in Massachusetts. I actually represented him a couple years ago when I was with PD, and contacted me when the warrant was put out for this case. We signed on probably 5 or 6 months ago. We were trying to get a date from the judge to do the sentencing. She gave us February 3rd. We were trying to get it worked out while he was out on release. We're going to ask the court if they consider setting bond at the amount of $5,000 today. I've been in contact with the state attorney, Mr. Rick Walsh. We've reached out to the victim of the case, and I think he's having trouble hearing back from the victim. He tried again yesterday, so hopefully by this week they'll be able to get something done and we can get a plea date. But the date in February was farther out than we expected.
Okay, Mr. Parker. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard?
At this time, no, Your Honor, other than to say at this point, since it's beyond financial, the state would just put on the record that he's not necessarily entitled to bond.
Based upon the information that you have provided to the court today, I am going to set bond in the amount of $5,000. Mr. Joseph, you're going to need to report to probation within 24 hours of your release. Is he going to be staying here in Orlando until his court date?
I'm going to work that out with his wife. I would like for him to stay because I think we're going to end up going to court a lot sooner than February. So that will be the plan.
Okay. And then, Mr. Joseph, I'm also going to order that you're to maintain contact with your lawyer.
Oh, I was going in contact with him. Thank you. Bless
Okay.
you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Parker?
No, Judge. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Jennifer Flucott.
Ma'am, you were here in 20 CF 14827. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Arian Prada.
Sir, this is 20 CF 14822. You were arrested for battery on a public transit employee. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim, sir. Your bond is $1,500.
Okay, may I say something?
Well, Mr. Prada, I don't want you to talk to me about the facts of your case because it can be used against you later. So if you have a question about the procedure today, I'm happy to try to answer it, but I don't want to talk about your case.
Okay.
Okay?
Who will I talk to? Him? Okay.
Your lawyer, that's right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Tell me your name.
Darius Washington.
Mr. Washington, sir, you are here in 20 CF 14837. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Your bond on count 3 is $100. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return to the scene, and you're to abide by the trespass warning.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yoshi Williams, recused.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent her. Mr. Thompson, would you like to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 CF 14803. She was arrested pursuant to a warrant for neglect of a child. The bond is $3,000. She is not to possess any weapons or firearms, not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And she's not to have any contact with the victim. Good afternoon, your name?
Oh, Daryl Willie.
1 second, Mr. Willie. Mr. Willie, you were arrested in 20 CF 14790 for possession of MDMA and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. And I'm not going to revoke your bond in your other case, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
There, Willis, ma'am.
Mr. Willis, sir, you are here in 20 CF 14793. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Bond on count 1 is $500. Bond on count 2 is $100. And I'm not going to revoke your release in the out on bond case. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Carter.
Good afternoon. Your name?
Loretta Wright, ma'am. Miss Carter.
Mr. Wright, you have 3 cases. I'll appoint the public defender in each case if they weren't previously appointed. You failed to appear in 20 CF 4432. The bond is set at none.
Yeah, because on clerk's of course, they said that my case is closed. And if I knew I had the court date, I would have been there because I got 3 kids I raised by myself. So I would have been there. If I would have known I had the court date, I would have been there because I raised them by myself. Right now, my neighbor got my kids right now because of what happened yesterday. But if I knew I had the court date, I'd been there, ma'am.
Sir, you were also arrested in 20 CF 13494. You failed to appear for court in that matter.
Now, because all on the clerk's of course, it said everything was closed because I called the burglary case
Just a
too.
second, Mr. Wright. That's not a failure to appear.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wright, listen, I know you want to explain something to me, okay? And I'm happy to hear you, but I
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
get through what I need to say to you, and then
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
go back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You were arrested in 20 CF 13494 pursuant to a warrant for petty theft with 2 prior convictions and criminal mischief. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victim.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you have an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County for failing to appear on a trespassing case. In that matter, the bond is $4,000, sir. So, Mr. Wright,
I promise you, if you give me a bond today, I will be there. I just gotta be there for my kids, and the only person who got them is me. That's why I just told the lady, I get unemployed every month. And the only person who take care of them is me. My baby mama right now, she's currently not around. She's sprung on mileage right now. And the only person who got them, I got 3 of them. But if you give me a bond today, I promise you I'll be at every court date. I got transportation and everything. I make sure they go to school. I make sure everything, I promise you. I'm the only one. My neighbor who stay in my complex, she got some. If you give me a bond today, I promise you, you won't regret it. I promise you. I'll be at every court date.
Just give me a second, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
going to set your bond in the amount of $2,000, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter.
You're welcome.
And Your Honor, did that include a no return? I guess that was previously ordered.
His previous bond was $1,000, so I doubled it.
Yes, sir, I was just
Nah, I ain't gonna run for y'all.
making sure that there was a no return involved in it, and it probably was previously.
Good afternoon. Your name?
Cabell Young.
Mr. Young, you are here in 20 CF 14832. You were arrested for grand theft of a firearm. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is $1,000, sir.
May I?
Yes, sir.
I have a attorney.
Okay.
So
Who is that?
Mike Lewinsky. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his name is Mike.
Okay.
I have his contact info right here as well too, but I do have a attorney.
Okay. So
I think it might be Mike Zemieski.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But I have his number right here. He's paid and everything.
did you want me to call him?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. What's the phone number?
407-473-1233.
And you've retained him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'll let him know. All right. So, Mr. Young, it's my understanding that you have not actually retained the attorney yet. He said he spoke with your dad, but he hasn't been retained, so he's not going to appear today.
Yes, ma'am.
But as I just told you, I set your bond at $1,000 in this case.
So I do have a bond though.
Well, I see that Judge Risch revoked your bond yesterday on a different case, so you wouldn't have a bond on that. You need to talk to the lawyer, and he'll have to file a bond motion in the other case.
Yeah, that's the lawyer. Mike, he's on that other case as well.
Okay.
So-
Well, I would call him about that then.
Okay.
All right? Good afternoon. Your name?
Wayne Brian Blanton.
Mr. Blanton, you're here in 18 CF 8682 for allegedly violating your probation. It says that you failed to successfully complete a sex offender treatment program and you were terminated out of the, you will not successfully complete the probation or the program in time. The bond is set at none, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days. Thank you, sir.
Can I say something?
Yes, Mr. Blanton.
When I was sentenced in 2018, I was told I would do 6 months, and I did less than that, of course, and then I would be on probation for 2 years. About 3 weeks ago, my counselor that I go to on Wednesdays, Dr. Mack, told me that my end of sentence was in February, and I said, that can't be right, because 2 years would be in July. And that's when I found out that my probation started the day I was sentenced. And no one ever told me that, Your Honor.
All right, sir. I understand that you're frustrated. I don't have enough information about your case. I can't make any decisions about that today. That's something you're going to have to bring up with your lawyer and with the judge who's assigned to the case. And because it's a violation of probation, I can't give you a bond even if I wanted to because you're labeled a violent felony offender, so the statutes don't allow me to do that. I do need to inform you that you do have reporting requirements when you are released from the jail.
Say that last thing again, I'm sorry.
When you're released from the jail, you have reporting requirements.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Alexis Hernandez Cotty.
Mr. Cotty, this is 18 CF 7733. You were arrested for allegedly violating your probation for using intoxicants to excess or possessing any drugs or narcotics. You tested presumptive positive for benzodiazepines, for opiates, and cannabis. The bond, sir, is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
May I speak, ma'am?
Sure.
I met all the conditions to my probation. I live in Daytona Beach. You guys authorized for me to be in Daytona for my supervision. Due to COVID, I haven't been checking into any office. I call once a month. They would tell me everything was okay, and I would continue working everything I've been doing. Now, last month, when I went to take a drug test, I told them that I have prescriptions, I can provide documentation for everything. I've completed all the terms of my probation aside from the monetary aspect of it. I haven't paid all my fines yet.
Sir,
but
that's a defense to the violation of probation that you have prescriptions, and you'd have to provide those to your probation officer and to your lawyer, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
So,
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Mark Cunningham.
Mr. Cunningham, this is 19 CF 16132. It's alleged, sir, that you have violated your probation by failing to complete the impulse control class. Sir, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $1,500, and you are to report to probation within 24 hours of your release. Thank you.
Your Honor, Austin Lyons is in the hospital.
All right. I'll reset his case for 24 hours after his release from the hospital. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Tell me your name, please.
Ola Gunchula.
This is 20 CF 14796. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm while wearing a mask, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony, resisting officer without violence, 4 counts, an improper exhibition of a weapon or firearm. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Thompson.
Your Honor, we'll be holding the state to their burden today. We reserve the right for Officer Heron downtown. As well, he's already being held at no bond on the VOP, so it doesn't make sense to have it today.
All right, sir, the court's not gonna make any finding as to prove evident or presumption great with respect to count 1. Bond will remain at none. I'll stay the bond on the remaining counts. That provides the probable cause in 19 CF 1189 for a violation of probation. Bond in that matter will be set at none. I'll also appoint the public defender, and you're gonna see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days on the VOP. Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, on the, I withdraw statement. I was going to ask for a no contact, no return, but I withdraw it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bush. Good afternoon, your name?
Jamil Prentice.
Mr. Prentice, sir, you are here for allegedly violating your probation. You were arrested in 20 CT 7789 for driving while license suspended. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir.
Okay.
Your bond in that case is $500. You are not to drive without a valid driver's license, sir. I'm gonna set bond on the violation of probation. There's probable cause for a VOP in 15 CF 4199. I'm gonna set that in the amount of $1,500. You need to report to probation within 24 hours of your release from jail.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, your name?
Maxime Diaz.
Sir, this is 19 CF 15040. You were here for allegedly violating your probation by committing a new law offense in 20 CF 14785. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is going to be set at none. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay, my lawyer actually came to see me this morning,
Okay.
so I got a paid attorney for the case. Did anybody notify him, or he just didn't know?
This is a different case. So he may have come to see you on the case that you just got arrested for, the case that violated your probation. He may not know about this new violation of probation because it's an on view. So basically the officer went back and saw you were on probation and violated your probation, the police
Okay.
officer. So I
Okay.
would call your lawyer and let them know that your probation has been violated.
Okay.
Okay?
So, pretty much you say I'll be scheduled for court in the next 7 to 10 business days?
Correct, in front, in Judge Whitehead.
Okay. All
Okay?
right.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm having difficulty hearing you.
2, 3, can you hear me a little bit better, Your Honor?
A little bit, yes.
Is that better?
Yes. We're
Okay.
in courtroom 1 in the BRC.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I am connected to the podium as well.
Okay, can the defendant hear you?
He can hear the interpreter.
All right, thank you. Sir, you were arrested for lewd or lascivious molestation on a victim less than 12, soliciting sexual activity with a child in a familial relationship, sexual battery on a child under 12.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, one moment. I'm sorry, I missed the first part. Can you repeat, please?
Sir, you were arrested for lewd or lascivious molestation on a victim under 12, soliciting sexual activity with a child in a familial relationship, sexual battery on a child under 12, lewd or lascivious molestation on a victim less than 12. The state has not moved forward on a proof evident or presumption grade argument, so you will be entitled to bond. Your bond on count 1 is $10,000. Your bond on count 2 is $5,000. Your bond on count 3 is $100,000. Your bond on count 4 is $5,000. You are not to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses in this case, and you are not to have any contact with anyone under the age of 18. Do you have a passport, sir?
No tengo pasaporte.
No, I do not have a passport.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, may we ask for no weapons?
Sir, you're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. Thank you. That's all, Madam Interpreter. Thanks for your help.
Your Honor, may I get the case number, the name again, please?
Sure.
Of the
It's
defendant?
20 CF 14769, and it's David Valentine.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right. Anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Your
All right.
Honor.
We'll be in recess.